Jason Statham is back as Jonas to fight some more enormous prehistoric sharks in Meg 2: The Trench. But can it compare to the absurd fun from the first? I'm Emily from Does It Hold Up? And I've got your spoiler-free review right now. In this movie, Jonas and a few returning friends have been visiting the trench for a few years trying to map all that it has to offer. They aren't the only ones down there though, as there is another team of humans doing some shady things they must stop. On top of that, there are 3 Megs that want to hunt them down and make them a delicious snack. Jason Statham returns to the franchise as the lead and puts in another okay performance. He looks somewhat bored of everything happening. The character has grown since the last time we saw him and is now officially part of an exploration team that does some eco-warrioring on the side. We get a few other returning faces from the first movie. Cliff Curtis as Mac is back to help make sure the team stays together, and Curtis revisits the role as if an old friend. The only problem is the character seems quite opposite from the same person in the first. A fan favorite from the Meg, lovable and nerdy DJ, played by Paige Kennedy, also returns to the team, but he is so different now. He's no longer the timid and scared guy we left at the end of the first movie, but his humor is still there. Kennedy adds additional layers to the character this time around and puts together a good, albeit underused, performance. This movie also did something a lot of others haven't done over the years. They didn't replace the kid actor from the first. Shuya Sophia Kai reprises her role as Mei Ying and becomes an integral part of the exploration that she should have never been in the first place. The character is only there so Jonas has something he needs to fight for. I also want to talk about the cute dog from the first film named Pippin, who makes an unexpected but very welcome comeback as well. Something I didn't know I wanted, but now I want more. Some of the new faces to the story is Jing Wu as Mei Ying's uncle, Ju Ming. This is a weird one, as he's talked about as such a genius, but is then portrayed as a complete doofus for the rest of the movie. Jing is completely miscast, and looks like he knows it too. Skylar Samuels plays Jess, and is a well-known character that few would miss if she didn't exist at all. Samuels does well in the role, but there wasn't much to work with, so it all falls flat. Sergio Perez Manchetta as Montez, the guy doing some shady things in the trench, plays the part well, but the script has him hang around much longer than it should have while trying to shoehorn in some weird backstory between him and Jonas. With these new characters comes the fact that Meg 2 focuses way too much on the humans in the story, and not nearly enough on the part people actually came for: giant freaking sharks wreaking havoc. It's not until halfway through that Megalodons come into play, and it's not really until the final 30 minutes that we get the action we actually came for. Statham gets to show off his martial arts skills fighting some other humans, but it feels lackluster and a letdown even if it is fun to see him do his thing. The screenwriters, John Hober, Eric Hober, and Dean Georgis, fill the same roles they did in the first movie. They do a good job trying to take this movie in a new direction and make sure that every element feels knocked up a notch, but in doing so they may have lost sight of what made the original so fun. There's no reason they needed human villains that overstay their welcome and eat up 50% of the runtime instead of focusing on the sharks. They also throw in a giant squid for our heroes to contend with, and in all honesty, so many of these side plots may have caused this movie to jump the shark. Pun intended. One good thing going for this movie is the director, Ben Wheatley, understood how ridiculous this movie was and leaned heavily into it. He doesn't shy away from how crazy the story is and how little sense it makes. A big departure from the more serious fare he's previously directed like Kill List and High Rise. Not sure how much of these decisions came directly from the studio, but no matter, because the absurdity of this movie is one of the few things that works. Overall, as someone who loved the Meg back in 2018, I was looking forward to revisiting the outrageous world of big sharks, but I walked away from this one feeling a little disappointed. I still enjoyed it, which is why we are giving Meg 2: The Trench a B-. If there's a third movie, I will see it because nothing beats giant sharks, but part of me wishes they had stopped with just the first one. So if you're a big fan of Megalodons, check this one out. But there's no rush seeing it when there's better options in theaters right now. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on Meg 2 and if they should have even made a sequel. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Or, for more great content, click the video on your screen right now. Until next time, be the very best you can be, and be kind to those around you. I'll see you next time. Bye!